Though his career was tragically cut short, the memory of James Dean and his rebellious attitude will forever be engraved in the pantheon of Hollywood's royalty. As incredible as it sounds, Dean only has 3 credited film roles, leaving most of his acting career to guest spots in popular TV shows. In today's list, we will be looking at the top 10 James Dean TV episodes.
You're a good dancer, that's all.
Well, don't turn it off. We're just getting started.
Look, JB, I don't want to dance anymore.
Number 10, The Thief.
You have never talked to me like this before, Mary.
Take them. Go on, take them. I don't want them.
But why now? Has anything happened?
Back in the 50s and 60s, television anthology series were one of the most popular formats to tell stories that couldn't be told in radio plays or pulp magazines. By the mid-50s, watching movies in your living room must have truly felt like magic, and that's what the United States Steel Hour tried to capture.
This is the United States Steel Hour.
Sponsored by the United States Steel Corporation, this anthology series was mostly performed live, a common occurrence in those days. Some subjects of the show were considered controversial at the time, and such is the case with the 1955 episode, The Thief. A rebellious teenager, played by James Dean, is accused of stealing his rich father's money. Even worse, this thief has stolen something much more valuable, his stepsister's heart. Co-stars Paul Lukas and Mary Astor found working with Dean to be a troublesome affair. Dean was well known for ad-libbing some lines during rehearsals and not fully committing to the script. In a live show like this one, that's certainly a worrying situation.
I'm not ashamed. It says I love your wife, that I want her to come away with me.
And what does she answer?
She didn't answer. She never answered any of my letters.
Number 9, Abraham Lincoln.
White, he was sick, and we both come from the same place, sir.
Where is that?
Studio One was another anthology series, one that specialized in telling memorable dramas that endured throughout its 467-episode run. Great classics of literature were adapted for TV audiences thanks to Studio One, including George Orwell's 1984, a book that becomes increasingly relevant as the years go by. In 1952, the episode titled Abraham Lincoln aired on CBS and captivated audiences everywhere with the solid acting done by James Dean in the role of William Scott. A Union soldier who's slated for execution after being found sleeping on duty, Scott is accused of allowing Lincoln's killer to end the life of the 16th president.
We got a place up there, sir, a big farm.
Who is?
Mother, sir.
Number 8, Something for an Empty Briefcase.
And why spend the money on it?
Because I like briefcases, that's why.
Sponsored by the Campbell Soup Company, the Campbell Playhouse, also known as the Campbell Soundstage, was another popular anthology series that adapted drama stories for television. This show featured shorter plays, usually being 30 minutes long, and featuring ads about the importance of eating Campbell's canned soup. Dean's rapscallion persona meant that he was typecasted quite early as the archetypical ne'er-do-well. He reprises this role in the 1953 episode, Something for an Empty Briefcase, where he stars as Joe Adams. Joe is a petty crook aiming for an easy life of riches. He targets Noli, a gorgeous dancer, as his next target, but soon realizes the value of living an honest life. And what is more honest than a man carrying a briefcase? He decides to get one for himself, but his crime partner is not as keen on him abandoning his life of crime as he is.
My name's Joe.
Mine's Noli.
Number 7, The Bells of Cocaine.
Look, I don't want no advice from you or anybody else. I just want you to mind your own business once in a while, that's all, Pop.
The Armstrong Circle Theater aired on NBC between 1950 and 1957. During that time, it alternated its time slot with the United States Steel Hour, providing millions of Americans with powerful dramas that rivaled with their movie counterparts. Though predominantly a drama series, the Armstrong Circle would sometimes air comedies to spice things up a little. In 1953, the Armstrong Circle Theater aired The Bells of Cocaine, a touching story featuring James Dean. An old warehouse worker dreams of returning to Ireland, but knows he'll never have the money to do so. Meanwhile, his young co-worker and friend, Joey Frazier, struggles to make ends meet caring for his sick children and his wife. Joey gambles to win some extra cash, but ends up losing everything he had saved so far instead. When the old man wins the lottery and finally has the money to make the trip back to his motherland, will he choose to help the crestfallen Joey instead?
From me, for Pete's sake!
I want you to stay here, or you give me a chance to get even, you little punk!
Number 6, Sentence of Death.
Down there, you said it wasn't me. Thanks. The mothers, they're wrong. Tell them. Oh, tell them. They'll believe you. Well,
Yet another classic story from Studio One, the anthology show is no stranger to powerful dramas. A little-known fact is that the classic 1957 courtroom drama, 12 Angry Men, originated from Studio One. In 1954, 12 Angry Men aired live on Studio One, winning 3 Emmy Awards for its captivating plot. A year before that, in 1953, Sentence of Death, another Studio One classic, aired on CBS. In the story, a young and wealthy socialite witnesses a murder during a robbery and is surprised to see that the police have gotten the wrong man as the culprit. Dean makes a short appearance in this episode as Joe Palica, the alleged murderer. Even though he appears for close to 10 minutes of the hour-long episode, he undoubtedly steals every scene he's in with his charismatic performance.
It's okay. I was right there, downstairs. Yeah, they got a television screen. It's 16 inches.
Number 5. The Dark, Dark Hours.
Such a tiny little baby. Hey, Pee-wee, man, you ought to see they got things all over the walls in here.
The story behind this 1954 episode of the General Electric Theater might be even more fascinating than the episode itself. Like many other shows on our list, the General Electric Theater was an anthology series with the peculiarity that this one was hosted by none other than Ronald Reagan long before he would become the President of the United States. The Dark, Dark Hours is about a crook who forces a doctor and his wife to save his partner's life. This episode of the General Electric Theater was considered lost until 2010 when it was uncovered by an NBC writer. The episode unites 2 big names in American pop culture, as both James Dean and Ronald Reagan were the show's highlights.
If I were you, I wouldn't do anything funny. You know what I mean? Huh? You know what I mean?
Number 4. The Unlighted Road.
It's crazy. I don't have a gun. I didn't shoot him.
Beginning with an on-screen introduction by Dean himself, The Unlighted Road would be one of his last acting gigs, as the young rebel would die less than 5 months after the production aired. Part of the TV series, Schlitz Playhouse of the Stars, this episode was released a mere 2 months after Dean's rise to stardom thanks to the film East of Eden. Dean stars as Jeff Latham, a young man looking for a way to make a living. He comes alongside a roadside diner and begins working there, even falling in love in the process. Everything looks great until he gets involved with the wrong crowd, and things take a turn for the worse.
I'm not going to get mixed up in anything phony. If these are hot cars you're selling or anything like that, I don't want any part of it. I don't care how much you pay me.
Number 3. The Hound of Heaven.
I'm looking for a Mr. Hyder Simpson and a hound dog named Ray.
That's yours, son.
One of the shortest entries on our list also features one of the more mellow roles for Dean. The rebel without a cause trades his signature leather jacket for a pair of wings in The Hound of Heaven, a short story where he plays an angel at the pearly gates. Initially aired as part of the Kate Smith Hour, the story follows an old man who recently drowned having a conversation with Heaven's gatekeeper. When the gatekeeper tells him his trusty dog cannot enter heaven with him, the man refuses to enter paradise. An angel, played by Jimmy Dean, informs the man that the gatekeeper was lying to him and tried to make him go to hell. This one is a very simple story that's presented mostly as a dialogue between the old man and the gatekeeper. Dean appears at the final moments of the episode wearing a comically loose angel outfit. The low production budget, yet charming performances, have made this otherwise unremarkable little story into an enduring classic.
That is hell. Heaven's on down the road there, Pete.
Well, how come that fella lied to me like that?
Number 2. Death is My Neighbor.
Well, Uncle Leo told me that was just an excuse to let you move in here.
Now look, JB, let's just let your uncle worry about this, huh?
Airing on CBS from 1950 to 1955, Danger is an anthology series that saw many Hollywood big names playing parts in its provocative stories. Leslie Nielsen, Grace Kelly, and of course, James Dean were just a small portion of the handful of celebrities that starred in an episode of Danger. The show is also regarded as one of the first to effectively use background music to enhance its tense scenes. In Death is My Neighbor, Walter Hampton stars as Mr. Clemens, a New York City apartment building supervisor. His new tenant, J.B., played by Dean, is up to no good. The young man endangers Clemens' job and very life in this tense episode of Danger. Reportedly, Dean didn't see eye to eye with the seasoned Hampton, that is, until he saw him rehearsing a monologue and was shocked to see his acting talents.
Well, I thought you found that photograph that I broke.
Photograph? Who'd it belong to?
His girlfriend, Miss Sargent.
Our number 1 pick is Padlocks.
I'm gonna hide in that room now. You get that door open.
I'll do no such thing. Those are my beautiful...
Are you gonna open that door now?
Dean was no stranger to the Danger Show. The young star appeared in 4 episodes of the critically acclaimed series. A few months after the airing of Death is My Neighbor, Dean would return to the show in Padlocks, one of the most successful episodes of the show's run. Padlocks stars James Dean as a runaway felon who seeks refuge from the police, who are steadily closing in on him. The crook looks for shelter and finds it in the home of a lonely woman. Throughout the episode, tensions remain high as the hostage situation worsens by the second, and the audience keeps wondering if Dean could snap at any second and dispose of the woman. A masterful case of film noir brought to television, Padlocks was a critical success and is considered one of Dean's strongest TV performances.
Why does anybody hold up any place? They need money, huh?
Well, to shoot a man. Now you're in serious trouble.
A fitting tribute to Dean's short yet outstanding acting career. Do you agree with our list? Be sure to comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be the first to receive new Top 10 videos from Stream TV.